It's going down.
We're live. What's up, everybody? What's happening?
How's it going?
What's up, fuckers?
We got. I just noticed your name.
I forgot to change it. That's what it was on my live stream. I forgot to change it.
Number one fan.
Hey, nothing wrong with being a fan, bro. Nothing wrong with that.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, you're a fan.
Well, there's quite a bit of sarcasm in there, Jason.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it, buddy. I'm sorry.
Well, but I was a fan. I mean, I guess I still am a fan. I'm not mad at the dude. It is what it is.
Yeah.
He came to a buddy's defense. If I'd have said something about Kevin you didn't like, Jason, you'd have stepped up for him, right?
Goddamn right.
That's what he did, man. Nothing wrong with that. That's manly shit. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What you flicking over there, Jason?
The first one I got is I'm flicking this large drift.
Y'all haven't even experienced any of those, man.
What, no quiet carries?
None.
Oh, man. We got to get you something, bro. Check some shit out.
Yeah, haven't even. I don't even know that I've held one.
They're great, man. They really are great.
Yeah.
I think for value, for the price point, man, it's hard to fucking beat. I don't know if anyone's beating them at that price point.
Yeah.
Their most expensive knife is the fucking large. That's $350, $340. $340? I think $340.
Yeah.
Van X, fucking titanium milled, fucking top notch, fucking tolerances, fit and finish. Kev knows he's got one too. They're great.
I haven't handled a tactile either.
You ain't missing nothing.
Really?
Yeah, I actually haven't either. I think I flicked. What's the most popular one? Like the thin
Rockwell.
The Rockwell.
Yeah.
I flicked one like twice at a show, and I wasn't blown away by it.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the whole fucking. People were crazy over that knife, bro.
I mean, I'm glad for them. It's an American company, so if they're making it here, I wish them the best.
Yeah.
I just nothing they've made has really grabbed me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It made me want to dig in my pocket for $250. Just hadn't felt it. But that's kind of an unfair statement, though, dude, because I am addicted to this thing.
What you got there?
I put some AWTs on my Para 3.
Is that a lightweight one?
No, it was a who is it that does the orange? Is that Knife Joy?
Cutlery shop?
I can't remember. It was the orange in CTS XHP.
Okay.
And I like the orange, but I just wanted to try them. My income don't allow me to do a bunch of buying at once. So this month I ordered AWT scales for my Para 2. Next month I'm getting them for my Shaman. So
yeah, they'll change your life, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It legit. I mean, it's not just a aesthetic upgrade. It makes the whole knife just feel more valuable. I don't know how to put it.
Quality.
Yeah, it's like more solid feeling almost, and just like more expensive.
Right.
Even acoustically, you get the acoustics. It just sounds.
Yeah, did you hear that when it flicked?
Yeah.
Dude, that thing is loud.
And I think the Shaman looks even better with the AWT because it kind of they almost thinned out the handle a little bit.
It gives me Steingraber Shark vibes almost.
Yeah.
Because his handle is very neutral, just with a slight curve.
Yeah.
Something else I've been struggling with, dude. I bought this from Lancelot Leather for my knife because I know this is crazy, man, but I really don't like having a knife in my pocket.
Really?
So I've been carrying it on my belt, and he's told me, he's like, it's on your belt now, man. It's time to get rid of that pocket clip. I just can't make myself do it because when I spotty flick this thing, I don't have to look. I know if my thumb is in that dip, I'm good to go.
And it also, I think the clips help with when you have it in your hand with the reverse flick.
Yeah,
I've done it before. Like when you disassemble a knife and you try doing it without the clip, it just slips and shit.
Yeah,
it helps you grip. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I have reasons for that, though. I've got nerve damage in my hands, and when I have a knife in my pocket, if I forget and drop my phone in there, when I run my hand in and that knife runs up the top of my hand, it feels like I'm grabbing an electric fence.
Ouch.
So it's very uncomfortable.
You got neuropathy? Yeah.
Yeah.
You diabetic?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've had mine under control for a while. I was 380 pounds at one time. I'm down to about 268 right now.
Okay.
And my blood sugar's been under control for a long time, but man, they say it can take years or it may never go away.
Yeah. What's your A1C? Not to get all medical.
The last time I had it checked, it was 6.1.
Oh, you golden now. Shit.
Yeah, dude, I was in the 12s for like 8 years. Yeah.
See, what's like normal? What's
6?
Yeah.
6, yeah.
Well, I think 6 is where they want a diabetic.
Diabetic to be.
I think a non-diabetic is like high 4s, I think.
I don't know, because I've been diabetic for so fucking long that 6 has been like the goal for me to get to.
Yeah. I lost 70 pounds while I was in the hospital with my heart surgery and stuff, because they don't feed you. And but then when I got out, they put me on Ozempic. Dude.
Everyone talks about that shit, man.
That shit melted off, dude.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. People are taking it who aren't even diabetic.
Yeah. My whole extended family, all of them are on it. None of them are diabetic. They just all wanted to lose 40, 50 pounds.
That's fucking crazy.
It will punish you though, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you slip up and be a glutton, sit down and eat a couple pounds of spaghetti one night.
Uh-huh.
Will you get sick or what? What happened?
Oh yeah, it make you miserable sick.
Really?
Yeah, it did me. That was my experience. I did it twice in a 6-month span. I overeat twice, and both times it made me super sick. But I quit taking it because I got to a point where I was getting lightheaded. My wife would be like, "When's the last time you ate?" And I'd think about it, but man, it's been 3 days.
Oh,
I just forgot about food, dude. It just, man, it destroyed my appetite.
I guess
it
sounds like it's working almost too good.
It was.
You do need to.
They don't want you to be on it forever anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, your screensaver there reminded me. I saw that Spyderco and all that leather, and I thought, man, that's kind of how I've been kicking it lately.
The reason I asked if it was a lightweight was because I just got recently a pair of 3 lightweight, and it's the snappiest Spyderco I've ever tried. I don't know if like the lightweights are snappier or if like the pair of 3s are snappier. They're just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like crazy strong detent.
Which one did you get? Which steel? BD1N or BD1N or some shit?
I got the Spy 27 one.
Oh, 27.
Yeah.
I've never handled a lightweight. I had a lightweight Mannix, and I.
Oh yeah, you did.
No, that's a different one. I had the blue S110. I gifted it to Bob DeMarco. That was my 20 CV when I had all that drama with.
Is the Shaman the best Spyderco?
I don't know, man. I love it, but I think the Mannix is, in my opinion.
I do too.
With American made, I'm going to say the Mannix, man.
Yeah, I think the Mannix is. It's not their most popular model. You're not going to get the oohs and ahs when you whip it out, but I think it's their best knife.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kev?
I would say that or the Native 5.
I didn't even think. You're right. You're fucking right.
Native 5 is pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never handled it. I had a Native Chief, but
that's the
I think I handled a Native 5 with the back lock. But
are you a backlock guy? Can you get into a backlock?
I don't mind a back lock at all.
Okay.
At all. This is controversial. I'd rather have a back lock than a frame lock. Dude, I do not like frame lock knives.
I tell you, if it's Spyderco's back lock, I can co-sign that.
Yeah. I own one frame lock right now, and it's a custom. This is a 1 of 5. I failed it. A 1 of 5 David Clark Banto. It's a great knife. It's cool that it's 1 of 5 that ever existed, but I just don't care for frame locks, man. And my wallet thanks me.
Yeah.
And I've owned them all. I've owned CRK, Hinderers. I never had a Spartan, but I've had an Olamic, Kaisers, and I've owned all kinds. And
what about them? Is it like just that you have to watch out when you flick to not?
No, it just it just feels like extra steps. I mean, maybe it's because I'm not coordinated. My hands don't work great. So I almost have to hold the blade and engage the lock. So it becomes a two-handed thing. That's just for me, though.
Yeah.
You know, but I've actually kind of realized that I'm not a huge fan of the feel of titanium. Man, I put those titanium scales on my Manix, and I kind of regret it.
You're the second person to tell me that.
Yeah.
About putting on this. And you know what? In all fairness, I bought some fucking titanium scales for my shaman, and I ended up taking them off.
Yeah.
You too heavy or what?
I'm probably, when I get all my other Spydercos done, I'll probably end up putting AWT on my Manix as well.
I think what it was for me with the shaman in particularly was the fucking, I got 2 of them with AWT scales, and they just feel so goddamn good that when I put the fucking titanium ones on the other one, I was like, maybe it was a little bit about the heaviness, but they were also those skinny ones that RGT does.
Right.
And it made it like too skinny, you know, like a little bit more fucking girth, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. It's just a personal preference, but I just not a fan of the way it feels. And
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
You haven't seen that?
USA Made Blades made a video all pissed off showing 30 of his Hinderers with no issue.
I thought that's what we were going to talk about tonight. You guys haven't...
shit, I didn't know that. I didn't know about the response.
Yeah. I didn't either.
What?
This is what I was hoping to speak on this tonight, because I didn't really get a chance to on my live stream as much as I wanted to. But what Weedy doesn't know Jared. Now, whether you like Jared or not, that's beside the point. I'm just talking facts here. Other than maybe Metal Complex, I don't think anybody has promoted Hinderer any more than Jared has.
Absolutely, I agree.
I've multiple times I've seen people in chat, $600, what do I get? Dude, the XM18 is always in his list. You know what I mean? And all he was doing was stating a fact. He owns 8. 6 of them have lock failure. But the whole point of the video is what he missed. The point he was trying to get across is, you say the HRC is lower because it's hard use. Even though the blade's thick enough, it wouldn't matter what the HRC is. But can it be considered hard use if the lock fails?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, those things don't add up. And, you know, I get it, though. That's Witty's livelihood, you know.
Well, who's Witty?
He's the guy that owns USA Made Blade.
Gotcha.
He's the guy that actually busted Hobart. He got a shipment in from Hobart. The shipping label was from China.
Right.
I mean, was like, hell no.
I didn't know that was the guy who caught him.
Yeah, dude, he pulled him off his shelf, made a video about it to me. So he's one of the good guys, and he handled this situation really well, because typically Witty is a hothead. I think I know why he handled it that way, because he even said it. Jared's video had 9 million views. His will have 500.
Yeah.
But something I want you guys to think about, because this is the main thing I've took from this whole situation. Rick Hinderer, USA Made Blade, none of these companies have spared 1 second of their time or chain of thought to even consider Jared Neve when he's promoting their stuff for free. But then as soon as he shows a negative about their stuff, people want to attack him.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, man, I think you can apply that train of thought for the most part with all American companies.
Absolutely.
They hate to be called out on their shit. These overseas companies, in their defense, bro, when back in 2022, when Vosteed, I bought the Valkyrie, I bought the Raccoon, and I bought the Thunderbird. All 3 failed. They fucking months later refunded me for every single fucking knife. No questions asked.
Yeah.
You tell me an American company that would do that after 6 months of owning a fucking knife.
I can. And it's an American company. I'll tell you my story.
ABW.
Yeah, I bought my ABW, my first one. Had Brian punch it. 52 HRC. 52 on 20 CD.
That's low as fuck.
Yeah. So I call him. I wasn't a dick. I just called him and said, hey man, we got a problem. And he literally kind of shut down production for about 3-4 months trying to figure this out. You know, I'm in talks with him the whole time, dude. He's literally just test heat treating batches of blank 20 CV blanks with the exact same recipe under the exact same conditions and getting numbers all over the board. He's not a metallurgist, so he's not going to come out and say, hey, I think there's a problem with 20 CV.
Right.
So what he did was said, hey, I'm not a metallurgist. Maybe I don't need to be wasting my time heat treating. So he reached out to Peters, and they're like, man, we'll do your Magna Cut at 64 for $7. $7 a blade. Now you think about how many blades he can grind in the 4 days a month he was spending sitting in front of a heat treat oven.
Goddamn right.
That was the day that I became truly mad about all of it. I was like, it's $7? That's all it costs to have it heat treated right? It's $7? Okay, she's gonna wear out the belts a little faster and all that, but there's not a single person in the knife community that if Rick Hinderer come out and said, hey guys, we're re-releasing Magna Cut at 64 HRC. It's going to cost you $50 more because of the wear and tear on the machinery. And I'm not warranting the blade for breakage. Dude, dust would never settle on those boxes. They'd sell out immediately.
Yeah. Does he even fucking warranty blades now?
See, that's another thing, dude. And I don't know if that's Rick. I know it started with Rick, but it has bled into his fandom. As soon as you have a complaint about a Hinderer, the first question they're going to ask, what'd you do to it?
Right.
Oh, that's an aftermarket scale.
Yeah.
And, you know, they, so I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I'm sure if you break it, it's going to say, well, with it that soft and that thick, you had to be prying with it.
Yeah. It's more likely to do this than break.
Yeah.
What is Brian saying in there? He tested a Wii.
And they were good about it and sent him a new blade. Yeah.
Yeah. Case in point, these overseas companies, you know, they're getting it, bro. And I think that's why they're owning the market right now, man.
Absolutely. And I'm glad Brian's in here because I've wanted to say this to him. I tried to call him. I know he's a busy guy. People like Brian and Triple B, as bad as I hate to say it, you know, Super Steel Steve, those guys are winning. And how I know they're winning, I'm sure you guys saw it. 2 or 3 days ago, Kershaw, of all people, Kershaw released a video on Instagram of them HRC testing their Magna Cut at 63.
Yeah.
You know as well as I do, dude. 3 years ago, they wouldn't have spent the time to do that and make that video. They wouldn't have given a shit at all. But because of people like that calling them out, it's getting to a point where if they want to continue to sell knives, they have to. So Brian, hats off to you, dude. You literally are changing the industry, even though you changed your mind recently. So,
I know. I was pretty sad to hear that.
Yeah. Here on out, all transparent knives blades are going to be super thick and 58 HRC.
What's up, Austin?
Austin, my man.
C. Reisner Cully. What's up, man?
So back to the Spyderco Hinderer thing. So it was just a fluke that all of Jared's failed and then 30 of his didn't fail, or what?
Dude, I just sold my Hinderer 6 months ago, and I could feel it on the heel of my hand.
Yeah. Same thing for me. Except I didn't sell mine, but
no, it's not just Jared's. Whitty did bring up a good point. How old is that knife? I mean, it could be something they fixed. That's an entirely valid point. I don't think. Well, I don't remember if his Project X failed or not, but he just bought that with the blade shop.
I think
that's another thing Whitty didn't consider, dude. Jared asked them, "What's the HRC on this Magna Cut?" And they told him 60-61. He bought it anyway.
Yeah.
Who spends $550 just to bash something? He still bought it, knowing that.
Yeah, he loves Hinderer. He said it in the
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not getting that point. And it's because they choose not to.
Well, I feel like it's something like where if it was Rick's idea to up the HRC, they would go ahead and do it. But since it's not his idea, they're going to resist it. You know what I mean? He's probably one of those guys that it has to come from him to be a valid.
It's like the whole thing with him and Brian, man. That would have been an ample opportunity to be like, well, if this is what y'all want, I'll start making XM18 skinnies, because that's where it would be more useful anyway. XM18 skinnies at a higher HRC, gonna like I said, it's gonna cost you another $50, and I ain't warranting it, dude. It'd be his most popular knife.
You want to know why it ain't gonna change, bro? Because people are still buying his fucking knives.
Right.
If people stop tomorrow buying those fucking knives, that HRC rises, guaranteed. Bro.
Yeah. True.
You know?
And you know, and Weedy, I had a back and forth with Weedy in the comments. It was very civil, by the way. And he asked me if I'd tried their S45. Apparently, people are raving about their S45 VN. Well, hey, I can salute that too. You know, if there's something about MagnaCut he don't like, and you know, and there's a reason why he doesn't heat treat it harder, but he's better at S45, then by all means, just make it out S45. You know, give me a steel you can do.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't have to have MagnaCut. I mean, let's face it, guys. By next year, MagnaCut's going to be S35 VN. It's going to be everywhere. Nobody's going to care anymore.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, I would rather have, in a lot of cases, S45 over MagnaCut.
Yeah.
MagnaCut's, I don't know, people really kind of got caught up in the MagnaCut hype, but it's not like, it doesn't have like crazy edge retention or anything. It's just like decent in all three areas.
I was actually going to ask Brian if he would come on my show so we could talk about this, but if he's in the chat still, I have seen it have absolute insane edge retention. One of the last few knives Gerald at Outpost 76 did his cut test on was transparent knives reblade and MagnaCut it. I think it was two of them. I think one was 64.8, the other one was 65.3. Don't quote me on that.
I probably never even tried.
And the edge retention was out of this world, dude. Like, it's at the top of his charts. But here's the question. Is that because of the hardness, which I'm sure has something to do with it, or is it because of Brian's insanely thin geometry?
Yeah, both.
I don't know. I mean, in all honesty, you might be able to heat treat an XM18 blade at 65 HRC MagnaCut. It still might not hold. It still might not do well on an edge retention test just because of the geometry. I'm not smart enough to know the answers to those things. But
there's so many variables, it's kind of hard to nail it down.
Yeah, because I feel like Brian's blades would probably outperform a lot unhardened, in all honesty.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Steve Chef knives. You know, he's on Instagram all the time, paper thin slicing tomatoes on a chef knife with no edge, unsharpened. And
that's wild.
And it'll slice tomatoes where you can see through because of the geometry. So,
someone asked if my Hinderer failed. Mine doesn't. I have a S45VN XM18. This one's solid.
Yeah. You know, that's a good point, dude. That's something we didn't consider. How does MagnaCut react to titanium? Does it bite and form a good lockup? And that was all stuff people had to learn the hard way. I don't know.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. But my point is there are lots of defenses that would bring up questions that would be cool to have answered, and nobody's chose those. Everybody's just chose, well, who are you to say, you're not smarter than a knife maker? It always goes back to the same bullshit instead of, well, hey, Lon, let's look at this. Maybe that is the case. Maybe the industry standard lock face geometry, maybe it don't work so great with MagnaCut. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I'm not saying it don't.
Well,
I'm just saying all those things are possible.
Right, but then we would be seeing these failures on a vast level.
Right. Mine was M390. And failed.
Yeah, mine's fucking S45 and failed. So.
Right. Yeah.
And I changed the lock bar insert too. So.
It does suck that Rick's not out there grinding each and every one of those knives. And Jason, you can't tell me you haven't put an HVAC system back together better on one day than you did the next.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
F that screw back there that I had such a hard time getting to. It don't need that. That shit happens at work. You know,
right.
And his reputation's on the line when these guys are like, oh, that's good enough. Dude, that was the one that I used to teach young mechanics all the time, is to get that phrase out of your head. It's good enough means it is not good enough, and it never will be. Yeah. Stop saying it's good enough, because it's not. You know, if you had to say that, it's because you knew it wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been
nice.
That's awesome, stone hands.
Yeah.
I want one of those pretty bad. And I don't even like booty style blades.
Mm-hmm. Did you get yeah, I don't know. It was it was so much money. What was it, over $500?
$450.
Really?
$450.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's better than the Paisan. Wasn't it like six something?
Someone was saying it was a downgrade from like the original Sledge buoys. Is that true? Is there any differences?
I've heard the total opposite.
Really?
And I'll know here in a couple of days.
Yeah, I've heard that it was improved, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
Okay.
You know, I don't.
I've heard.
Which do you guys think's the better knife, the Sledge buoy or the Paisan? How you say?
Paisan. I'm a Paisan guy, but my views may change here in a week, so I'll let you know.
Even with the lock stick or whatever people are complaining about.
I had mine modded, so I don't have that issue.
Okay.
Yeah. The reason for the quote unquote lock stick with the Paisan.
Why?
Okay. First of all, if you bought a new Paisan in 2022 and forward, you got the CQI version, which has a lock bar insert. So it's not that.
Oh, okay.
What it is that's an integral. And when you go to disengage that lock in its standard form from the factory, you're actually compressing the scale into the bottom tang of the blade. So by cutting away a portion of the show side scale to give you better lock bar access, the stick is gone.
Okay. Is that fan coming through the mic?
Who?
No.
I had to turn my fan on. It was a little hot. I just want to make sure it wasn't humming.
No, you're good.
Double D10 said he's disappointed. Why are you disappointed, bro?
I wish I could see comments, because I'd like to know the answer to that too.
You can. Can't he?
Well, yeah, you may be right.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Hit the comments.
You got to hit the comments button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I'm liking, though, bro. I'm loving this fucking Mini Sweeney, bro.
What is that?
The Mini Sweeney. Berg's Blades.
Oh. You have to forgive me, guys. I'm way out of the loop, man. It's like anything else. You kind of step back for 6 months. You can't catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not doing no videos at all, just the lives?
I did one about a couple of weeks ago. It didn't do great. Of course, none of mine really do. But that was the first one I'd done in about 6 months, and I've got a couple of knives coming I'm going to do videos on. My thing is, if I don't really care about it, if it doesn't spark some interest in me, I'm not going to do it. I'm not in this to make money. I don't care about numbers or any of that. If it's something that interests me and I want to check it out, I'll do a video. If not, I'm just not. I'm not bad mouthing, because people with channels do need filler content. I just don't.
Let me tell you what. That's so funny you say that, bro. Recently, I've literally shipped knives out without making a fucking video on it. Like, I got a pass around, signed up for a knife, don't know why the fuck I did. They get here and I'm like, I can't say anything positive about this, bro. Just ship it the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be that I could find anything positive or not, but one of my big issues is I'm not a fan of Chinese-made knives. So if you're not doing Chinese-made knives, you're not going to have enough content unless you've got deep pockets, to be buying all these American knives, and I don't. So,
but what's your issue with Chinese knives?
It's just a personal thing. I chose not to buy them. It all started with Spyderco, actually. there were several Spydercos I wanted, and I was constantly telling myself, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. And then I sat down one day and added up what I'd spent on Chinese knives, and it was about $4,800. And I was like, you've been lying to yourself this whole time. You could afford it if you didn't get a new knife, every 4 days. So I told myself I wasn't going to purchase any more Chinese knives until I owned all the American-made knives that I wanted. There's political and ethical reasons within my head and my heart, that go along with that. But, you can break anything down and make it evil, dude. But, I keep thinking, there are no Chinese companies. It doesn't work that way in a communist country. And so it's all owned by the government, the same government who's making all this fentanyl and shipping it here and killing all my friends and family members. I just stay away from it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't judge. People can buy whatever they want. That's just my personal reason for why.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm definitely been more selective in recent times. Like I used to just saw a cool knife in a video and went and bought it if it was reasonable price. Like fuck it, I'll just buy it.
Well, this may sound kind of two-faced, but my best friend here in town, he's rough on pocket knives, dude. Rough on them, and he's not going to spend more than $50. It's not going to happen. And he came to me, he's like, what I need to get now? This piece of shit didn't last 3 months. And I got him, I said, dude, just get a Migueron Valona. He's had that knife for 8-9 months now. It still looks brand new. It's still sharp, believe it or not. And I mean, he abuses his stuff. So,
yeah.
Like I said, it's just something I choose for myself. I don't push it on other people. That's what I choose to do.
Yeah, I try to keep politics out of it. To me, it's all about the knife.
Oh, I get it, dude.
I say that, and the majority of my I'm a hardcore. I'm a veteran, so I'm always going to go.
Yeah,
I'm going to lean. I'm going to try to give an American company my money first, but not at the deficit of a inferior product.
Right. Jason, I tell you, man, I used to talk about when I do knife reviews. The most important thing about a knife was how it made me feel. I know that's silly, but I do get some kind of emotion, when I handle a knife that I love. And I don't think any knife ever impacted me more than the Vero Axon did. It's a Chinese-made knife. I get it, dude. There's some great stuff out there. I'd be lying if I tried to say different. But, and it does suck sometimes, dude. There's some knives out there that I really wanted to own. But, this is one of the few things I've tried to have some discipline about in my life. So
there you go.
That's what I've stuck with.
There you go.
A lot of people hear that and think, that I hate Chinese knives and I hate people. None of that is true. Absolutely not true. It's just a personal choice I made.
There you go.
Yeah, Kyle's right. That Red Mannix 2 made me feel away. Yeah. So I've been noticing, man, you guys have a slightly different crowd. Like, when I go in you guys' comments, I see a lot of names I don't recognize, and that's good.
Oh yeah.
I think
good group of people.
It's interesting, like going into different live streams and different channels and kind of seeing what names are in the chats, like what are the reoccurring names. Yeah, and there's a few people that are for sure in a lot of different live streams, but
yeah, you got a couple of dozen that are in it, all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see a lot of names I don't recognize in you guys' chats.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Are you going to any shows soon, Shane? Are you going to go to Atlanta?
I am.
That's right.
I'm gonna work not the entire weekend, but Michael Martin from ABW. It's just him and his wife, and it never fails when he has to go to the bathroom or go to lunch or something. Somebody comes by, so I'm gonna kind of help him work his booth part time. But yeah, I'll be there. Yeah,
sweet.
I don't think I'd want to nail myself down to sit in one booth the entire weekend.
Fuck no.
No.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
I put a nice set of tits on my Model 2, bro, and it changed. I wonder why. You know what you should ask him, bro?
What?
Why he doesn't put tits on his knives, man. I put a set of tits on my ABW Model 2, and it changed the fucking knife, bro.
What are you talking about?
Set of studs. Set of studs.
Oh, I think he did. You know, the Model 1's now the Model 1 version 6. I'm pretty sure one of the previous models was a thumb stud. But there's some stuff coming, dude. He, yeah. There will. I'm sure there will be some thumb studs coming soon. He's already made his prototype for his button lock. It's sweet as hell.
I saw that. I think I saw that.
Anxious to get that, but yeah, we've been talking about. You know, I think Michael's a great man, and I won't say he's the best knife maker out there because he's not. He's learning every day. But I think the one thing he does lack is I don't think he has his thumb on the pulse of the community so much. So I've been kind of like trying to help him with that. Like, you know, he had never considered just selling scales. I was like, dude, people love swapping their scales out. You know, it's like they got a new knife without having to spend $200. So he said when he buys materials now, he's going to buy enough to make. He makes you start out with enough to make 10 sets, of extra scales. I
was just looking at some of his knives, and it looks like he does his pivots almost like TRM does, like where you could just lift it off.
Yeah.
Is that true?
No.
No,
you got to take it out.
No, you got to take it out.
Okay.
I was really impressed though with how easily his knives are disassembled. Like, you know, the fit and finish is good. It comes apart easy. It goes back together easy. There's no nightmares. Everything lines up good. I've been really, really happy with that stuff.
Yeah, I've still never tried one. I need to.
I'll be glad to send you one of mine.
Okay.
I'll get you one out. You check it out. That's my Warncliffe I got at Blade Show. And then my drop point I got the previous year at Blade Show. So
you know what I want?
Hoping this year I get a button lock.
You know what I want, bro? If you could pull a fucking string, I don't want it for free. I want one of his frame locks. I've been trying to get them and I can't find it.
Yeah. The Model 2 was originally going to be a frame lock. And I don't know. He's never mentioned why he changed his mind. I feel like there was probably some, there may have been some lock face geometry issues. So he backed off from that, but he decided last minute to make that a liner lock. So I don't know. There are some out there.
I don't know which model it was, but there are some that. There you go.
Yeah.
It looks sweet.
Some of his older stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does he do the milled bevels on all of his stuff?
No.
Okay.
He did a batch of them for Blade Show, but he does less of that than he does the normal. And I kind of understand why. There are people who hate that concept because, literally it does create some amount of friction, when it's passing through material. But
yeah, it looks cool.
I never had an issue with it.
See, this one looks almost milled too, like just more lightly.
Yeah. Well, because it's all CNC too, though, you can kind of see them. I don't know. You can't feel them, but you can definitely see some machine. The machine lines in it. Yeah, mine's like that. It's actually got the line. You can feel them.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. You know what that knife is behind the edge, Kevin?
What?
6 thou.
Oh God.
Yeah. And the reason I know that is because once again, Brian at Transparent Knives measured mine, and when he shipped it to me, it did not have an edge, so there was no question about where were you on the edge. There was no edge. I wanted it that way, and he measured it was 6 thou.
That's fucking sweet.
Yeah, that's why they cut so well. But,
well, I'm kind of talking myself into it now.
Yeah, they're great. I love them.
I will tell you this: it's not a fidget toy. The opening action's excellent, but I don't even know how many times you'd have to shake it. Well, I got it one.
Mine's fucking money, bro. I don't know. Maybe I got a newer one though too. Mine was I got last year.
Yeah.
models. I think maybe 6, whatever, fucking something 6, Model 2, version 6 or some shit. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I didn't even see you, boo. Fucking Sambo. ABW, baby. ABW.
They sound kind of.
I made a whole video on that.
They sound like.
The reason why I said
they sound
ABW,
similar.
the reason why I said ABW is better is because of the behind the edge thickness. That's literally the only deciding factor. Everything else, I feel like they're equal. And you can tell it, dude. If you look at a TRM, everybody talks about how slicey they are and thin. It is a thinner blade stock. But if you look at the plunge on a TRM, it is so shallow because they don't remove much metal. Literally the plunge grind on this is twice as deep as a TRM. See how deep that plunge is?
Yeah, but I mean, blade stock thickness is a big deal for sliciness. So I don't know. I'd be interested to see which is slicier.
Yeah, I think
I've owned both. TRM Shadow is the sliciest knife I own.
I've owned both. I think the ABW is slicier, but behind most TRMs, I think are what 15, around 15 behind the edge.
Let's see.
And that's not me bad-mouthing TRM, dude. I love TRM. I love Marianne. They're great people, a great company.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying, buddy.
Yeah,
I see what
the blade stock itself is thinner,
right?
But they don't remove as much of it,
right?
So it's a thicker blade.
Yeah, he's right. I can see it.
Yeah, it's about 15 on the Shadow, 15,000.
Yeah. Now, if you start testing 3/4 of the way up the blade, when does that extra thickness on it? I don't know. That's too scientific for me, but
But they sound like kind of similar companies where they don't have super good action. They're just like really good cutters. That's kind of the focus.
Well, Michael has been making knives his whole life. He used to work the same place Michael Janet from Spyderco did. He used to work for Black Hawk.
Oh, really?
And when Black Hawk kind of got out of trying to do quality stuff, he went out on his own. Yeah.
Well, yeah. What budget guy KT says. So if it says Taiwan, well, Taiwan is a democracy. So I mean, I wouldn't imagine that. I don't want to speak for you, but I would imagine you would feel.
I have absolutely no issue. Support Taiwan all you can, because I would like to see them, and I know their people would like to stay a democracy. So no, absolutely I have zero issue with that.
And they make some really good knives, man.
They do.
Really good.
Quiet.
They really do.
It's just one. Who else? Fucking Demko.
Off grid are made in Taiwan, I think.
I've never tried an off grid.
They're cold steel if you don't want to buy cold steel. That's what I tell people.
Really?
They follow a lot of the same hard use outdoor brute type stuff. I don't know if they even make anything that's super slicey, but yeah, probably I would. I'm about to say it. I said I would never say this. Wouldn't surprise me if they're not made in the same plant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because cold steel is Taiwan. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, they remind me a lot of cold steel. I've had a few. I wasn't unhappy with them for the price.
Yeah, I was never really drawn to any of the designs, but I've always been kind of curious just to see how they felt.
All right. If you could break your no China rule for one knife today, what would that knife be?
The sexiest knife ever made. The Evo.
Okay.
The Evo taunts me, dude. That because I said it and now I can't own it. That is the most beautiful knife ever produced. I think that Arius is probably the best. Now that may have changed, with the Rosie and stuff. I haven't experienced some of those, but at one point in time, I always said the Arius is the best pocket knife made. But you can't beat that sexy motherfucking Evo, dude.
I got that number 4 Evo 4.0 coming this week too, bro. I got a lot of heat coming this week. I'm gonna get to try out. I've never tried the Evo, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, and I guess second, oddly enough, would be the Vero Axon. I don't know why, dude. I literally feel smarter when I hold that knife.
I had a bad experience with that, bro, with the axe on. I ordered it for a friend, and he sent it. He had it come here first.
Yeah.
And it came with QC issues, man.
Really?
But I like the knife. Like, I liked it. I wanted to love it.
Well, I've been complaining about the detent being a little soft, but keep in mind I have nerve damage, so it really helped me be able to flick that knife.
Gotcha.
So speaking of QC, Evo 4s with QC issues.
Uh-oh.
And I don't even need that knife at all. And I don't even really feel like it fits my usage. But I'd just be cocky walking around with it in my pocket. You know what I mean?
Right. So. Okay, so since you're the Evo guy, a couple of months back, I think at this point, people were, and I'm sure they were making this a lot. There were people making this comparison when it first dropped was the Padre. People try to say that it's, a knockoff or very similar, very, very similar to the Evo. I don't agree with that, but what do you think about that?
I don't think it's even close to the same thing. I think for people who can't afford an Evo, it might be close enough to fill that niche. However, I also feel like I don't feel sorry for them. If you send your design, when you hit that send button on your email and you send it to China, it is no longer your knife. It's no longer your design. Yep. They are going to steal it because that's what they do.
What they do.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, they don't even consider it immoral or illegal. That's what they do.
Yeah, they don't have no laws on intellectual property, bro.
Right.
There's no such thing,
Right. So I don't feel sorry for anybody. With EMP EDCs, when they were selling those EMP EDCs on AliExpress, dude, that was not a clone. That was an EMP EDC.
I got one. I know.
Yeah. They just didn't pay him. It kept all. So that tells you, what does it cost to make an EMP EDC?
Yes, sir.
$30. I mean, if they made something after shipping. So what it cost them? $30 to make it?
Probably less.
That opens up a whole nother can of worms. Well, if it cost $30 to make that knife, what was EMP charging for it?
You goddamn right.
You know what I'm saying? So then you start looking at all these makers, your buddies even. These guys buddies. And he's charging me $350 for a knife, and I know they can make the nimble for $30. What'd they charge you? To justify you charging me $350. I don't know.
See, when it comes to that, though, in all fairness, I don't give a fuck. I can't count the next man's pockets. If he puts it to me at $350, I'm not worried about what it took for you to make it.
Right.
Because number one, if I find out, I may feel some type of way. If I do find out, I may not be able to help it. It may bother me. So I don't even,
Right. But you're right. The end game is the knife was $350. You were willing to pay it. If you get it and you're happy with it at that price, that's all that matters.
You're right.
I've been doing a lot of soul searching lately because a lot of the things that I was concentrating on and kind of digging into, I have found that none of it really matters, man. You know what I mean? It really don't matter.
Nope.
But what's this? What do you think about Wee Knives' recent uptick? They seem to be banging out some quality shit.
I agree with that.
But what it cost? How many kindergarten?
I got the Nefarious coming too.
Yeah, you're gonna back me into a corner and make people dislike me, dude. I don't have an opinion on it. We make some great knives. Yeah. I know that. Kaiser makes some great knives. I will say this though, I don't understand buying Kaiser's plain Jane shit. You know what I mean? Just like their beg letter, dude. That's just a knife. You can buy something that resembles that from 100 other companies. What I do like is when Kaiser sticks their neck out on the line a little bit and makes that crazy shit.
I think they're doing themselves a disservice. And I've been saying this, bro. That budget shit takes away from their value because they can make a fucking knife, bro. Just last year, the Veritas, the Militar, the fucking what was that other one with the Rex 45? I mean, they had some, and then he don't know.
I really don't.
I know. Motherfucker,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but I am off the budget shit, man. I'm just off it.
Well, I mean, you've blown up. You're making all this influencer money. We assumed you would turn your nose up at the budget shit eventually.
It's just spam, bro. You don't get nothing out of it because if you try to sell it, you're never going to get anything for it.
Well, they know that though, dude. They know that they're not selling us a cutting tool. They're selling us a hit of dopamine.
Yeah. And
they're I don't want to say they're taking advantage of it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's all they're doing. We are fortunate that we're getting as good a quality as we're getting out of some of that stuff because they are just selling us a habit. You know?
Yeah. Yep. It's they're just pumping out they're just vomiting out knives like it's nothing. Just not without any thought. Just throw some, sharpen it, throw some micarta on it, get it out the door.
Make it fidgety, and motherfuckers will buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
Look like
that is the one thing they're doing better though, dude. They're in here right now. Somebody.
Oh yeah.
If they're not in here, they're going to watch it later. They got some poor sap sitting in an office watching all these dumbass knife videos to find out what these crazy Americans want, and then a week from now it'll happen.
Yeah.
You know. But hey, hats off to them for having, the motivation to make what we want. We can't get American companies to do that sometimes.
Is it really 1 million Elementums? Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
You really think they've made 1 million?
I don't know. It seems possible.
Yeah.
Like Tommy Mac says, though, they're like the gateway drug. Budget knives can be the gateway drug to the next level. That's true. We all get our start for the most part with budget knives.
Absolutely. I got my start with budget Chinese knives.
Yeah.
I just told you I spent $4,800 on them. And I told myself, I won't do that again and then lie and say I can't afford an American-made knife.
Yep, it's true.
Have you heard my story about my first Microtech?
No.
I was in love with the Microtech DOC, the Death on Contact. That's also the thing that happens when you get in. It seems like everybody tends to be more into the big, tactical, scary looking shit. And I was. So I really wanted a DOC. I knew I was lying to myself that I could never afford one. And I bought the effing growl copy. I never carried it. I never tried to pass it off. I just wanted to see, and I know people say this is bullshit, but it's not. I wanted to see if I was going to like it so that further down the line I could actually, set out to own it. So anyway, I got it. I still loved it. I went on the hunt. It took me about a year to find one, and I found one dirt cheap. I got it for $200 because one of those little black inserts right there had fallen out. But being a redneck that I am, I tried to fix it myself. And guys, I can't exaggerate enough how bad I ruined that knife. I was literally, I threw up. I mean, it literally made me sick at my stomach. I destroyed that knife being a cheapskate. Then only to find out that Microtech would have replaced it for $25. The sticker. So anyway, I let it sit in a drawer for a year. Wouldn't even look at it. And finally I got up the nerve to email Microtech, and they're like, it's an older model, but send it in. We'll see what we can do. All right. Around the same time, they just put me on a new antidepressant that you can't say that's on YouTube, but I didn't want to be alive anymore. Dude, that stuff messed me up really, really bad. And this was during that time. So I get up one morning, package up the knife, ship it off to Microtech. Later that afternoon, I walked through my bedroom. I looked down, and there's my DOC. I shipped them the fucking effing growl.
Oh.
I did. Dude, I got this 4-page long email back because that knife don't go to Microtech. Come to find out, Microtech doesn't work on that knife. That goes straight to Marfion Customs. I get this 4-page long email from Marfion Customs, and I've never been more embarrassed in my life. I was more embarrassed by that than I was the fact that I had ruined the knife.
Yeah, that's horrible.
But say what you want about Microtech. I just fessed up. I told them the truth. They told me, so we'll send your knife back, but we got to grind everything off of it that makes it look like a micro. I was like, dude, just throw it in the garbage.
Right.
They didn't even make nor have scales for that knife anymore. But one of the techs at Marfion Customs had a pair of scales in his toolbox that had a tooling mark on the inside that nobody would ever see. But they didn't pass QC, so they've just been in his toolbox for like 8 years. He's like, I've got those. I can put those on if you want. I was like, absolutely. Came back, looked like brand new. They didn't charge me a dime. They didn't charge me shipping, guys. After I did everything I could to thoroughly fucking offend them.
Did you have to send them a picture of the real one, or did they believe you?
No, I reached out and was like, look, I really have a DOC, and they were like, you could, dude, it was just like, okay, send it. I don't think they believed me or they weren't very motivated, but they, they took care of me in the end.
That's funny.
Yeah. Everybody on my channel's heard this. I thought my live streams are always me telling embarrassing stories about myself.
Yeah, that's fucking mortifying. I would, if that happened to me, I would just delete my email account.
Here I am, edgy American, pushing American-made knives. And I mailed Marfion Customs a fucking effing growl. But, in all honesty, that effing growl was a damn good knife.
That's what I was going to ask you. Did it feel better or worse than the real deal?
My DOC had excellent action, almost painful. It was so heavy. So the action was about the same. It did feel better, but once again, that falls back on the fact that it had G10 scales, and I prefer the feel of G10 over titanium anyway. So those were aluminum, but either way. But yeah, it's not a bad knife. I mean, if you need a heavy-duty work knife, they don't have any liners. They're just, riding on G10. But yeah,
I've honestly never even seen that knife before today.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Never seen it. What's your most cherished knife in the collection currently?
I don't have access to it right this minute, but it's a sentimental thing. It's just a Hogue Deca.
Okay.
Not my favorite knife, but I had mentioned wanting one, and I don't think you guys were around at the time. I know y'all heard us talk about Jason Brown.
Yes.
Well, Jason got a $100 gift card to Smoky Mountain Knife Works for his birthday, and asked his wife's permission, and she told him he could do that. He bought me that knife, and that's by far my most cherished knife, just because of what it means to me.
Yeah. But
as far as my favorite, as far as carrying, that I'm back and forth strictly between ABW and Spyderco.
Yeah.
The Model 1, the Model 2, the Para 3, the Shaman. I've got literally 5 knives, and they're all that I carry. So, I've got some nice Protect stuff. I'll have to. I didn't know there was cutting oil for drill bits. I went in raw.
Raw dog and that shit.
That's the way to learn, though, dude. If it don't cost you a piece of your body or a piece of your wallet, did you really learn anything?
That's right.
Yeah, that's the best way to learn. Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we've got guys like Brian and Steve, those guys in the community that are pushing this, though, and now seeing the result is companies as big as Kershaw, making a video and put it on Instagram of their HRC because they didn't give a shit 3 or 4 years ago.
No,
it's great that they do now.
Speaking of
Kershaw, convince me that there's anything else caused that.
No, it had to be it. Speaking of Kershaw, that one new one they have looks pretty good. What is it? The
crossbar lock one?
Is it? It's like a thin blade stock slicer EDC knife.
Is it like the bug out competition? Is that the one?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, the Bel Air.
Bel Air. There you go.
Yeah, I think I've got a Bel Air coming. No, Blade Ops is still out of them. I'm on the list because I want to check out the Bel Air.
It looks. I mean, it's another bug out ish kind of knife, but it looks.
Yeah,
good.
I feel like it's a little late, but
yeah,
But you'd be surprised how many people out there still think Kershaw is the best knife company in the world. They don't know anything else.
Shit, they went up in price, but when that shit first came out, they was $154.
Were they really?
$159, yes, sir.
Well, this is right on the Kershaw site, though. Let me see.
Okay.
There we go. 164.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've owned a bug out. I own a Deca. If I didn't own one of those and I was looking for that kind of knife, I might try it. But at this point, they're, 5 years late on that?
Well, bug outs are like 170 now.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
Is it, though? That's a Kershaw and it's $5 less.
Yeah, but this is actual G10, I think, right?
Aluminum. Okay. It's aluminum.
Oh, it's aluminum. Yeah, it's aluminum. There you go.
Right. I like aluminum knives.
Yeah.
The more I handle, the more I even like the chalky aluminum.
Me too. Yeah,
I dig it. And I love the way it looks when it wears. When the edges get rubbed,
it looks amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks more like a patina than. Yeah, I love it.
Yep.
I've got the new launch coming, and I've got the Blade Ops exclusive 940 coming.
What's the deal with that? What's
It's just a different color.
Okay. What color?
But I've never handled a 940, believe it or not.
Really?
So yeah, this is a good opportunity for me.
I think that's Kev's favorite Benchmade.
Yeah. I don't own any more Benchmades because once again, it's 100% me, but because of my neuropathy, my thumb doesn't react well, so I can't use a thumb stud knife. So
do you like autos? I mean, I heard you say the launch, so I would assume.
Yeah, I've got a TR4 auto, but I don't carry them that often.
Yeah, the autos are a little bit boring to me.
Yeah. I'm not an action guy though. I don't care about drop shut and all that stuff. So it's not that I prefer an auto. I just don't. The same reasons why the reasons why you guys don't want an auto don't apply to me. I don't care if a knife drops shut and all that. I say I don't care. I've owned a couple, and it is cool to sit around and fidget with it. And one of the best I've ever had at it is a Kaiser Paragon, that mini Paragon, because it's so controlled. It's like hydraulic. You just slowly roll that hand on that blade. I do dig it, but it's not a deciding factor in what I carry.
I think a detent would be more deciding. I'm more into the detent. That snap, that quick deployment. That's what I'm after.
I don't really care about drop shot either.
Yeah.
You know what the best. I guess you can still call it budget. I know we've kind of moved that bar up now.
Oh yeah.
Probably the best Chinese knife I've owned. Excellent detent, perfect opening action. That same hydraulic shut. The grind on it was really. There was one small spot come out in the first sharpening. The grind on it was really good. The heat treat seemed to be good. The geometry was good. There's that damn QSP
Pelican.
Yeah, and dude, it had just a little bit of heft to it. It was in black micarta. It had a little bit. It just felt right. You know what I mean? The weight perfectly matched the size of the knife. I think they're like $109 new or something. But
wait a minute. Probably Pelican.
Now, I actually carried that knife, but
about the hawk? No,
Pelican. Yeah, that right there.
Okay.
Yeah. I love Warncliffe, but mine was like a black micarta.
And this is definitely a lesser known QSP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you another one that since we're talking about QSP, I love the Hawk. The Hawk was a great one too.
Yeah.
I never handled it.
The Hawk was great.
I had a Penguin. Isn't that what it's called?
Yep.
Wasn't that the one that got really popular for such a long time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've actually had 2 of those. I gave both of them away to kind of not knife guys. You know what I mean? Got tired of them asking to borrow mine, and they're constantly, I need to get me a knife. So that happened twice.
I did see Dune. I saw it this weekend. It was amazing.
What's that?
Fucking amazing.
Movie?
Dune. The new Dune.
Okay, they had a part 1, I think, a couple years ago or something, right?
It was like last year or the year before, yeah.
So it's a good series then, the Dune? What's it about?
It's a sci-fi. It's way too complicated for me to tell you.
I got you.
I'm sure if it's a sci-fi love story, I'm sure Duty will do a review on it, and we can just watch that instead.
No, I'm like a Dune nerd, so if I try to explain it, I'll get all in this thing, and it'll be way too much. So
I got you.
Yeah, just.
Either one of you guys play video games?
I used to a lot, and I still do sometimes, but not nearly as much as I used to.
The reason why I ask is my wife and I found the perfect, and the industry actually calls it the perfect girlfriend game. So it was called Borderlands. They had 1, 2. I think they've made 4 different ones, but part 2 was by far the best of the best writing. And I was just curious if y'all were fans because I've been enjoying getting opinions. They're coming out with a movie. And,
I heard that. Yeah.
I was rather upset with the casting. I just felt like they kind of blew it. But anyway, if you guys don't know anything about it, there's no point talking about it.
Yeah, I know the game, and I know that they are making a movie, but I don't know. Like
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart's in it? Kevin Hart's in fucking everything now.
Right.
He is so
That's what
popular.
Hollywood is now. It's, every movie that comes up, you insert the same 15 to 20 people. Just do it over and over and over.
They don't make good movies anymore, man. It's rare. It's rare.
Hey Kev, look at Mirasalt. Next Tuesday, you're gonna explain Dune to me.
Yeah. That'll be the whole show.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of revenge movies, though. I love a good revenge story. Man on Fire.
Oh,
Sicario. I never thought I could watch a movie and watch a man shoot and kill 2 small children and a woman. And jump up off the couch like, fuck yeah! I did.
Yeah.
Such a badass movie, dude.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Who was it? Benicio del Toro? Yeah, right? Yeah. No.
Do what?
The head actor. What's Antonio?
Benicio del Toro?
Benicio del Toro, yeah.
Well, John Wick is probably one of the best revenge movies, right?
I've never seen that.
You ever seen John Wick? What?
I'm not a movie guy, bro.
Oh, shit.
You haven't seen John Wick?
No.
That's very surprising.
Yeah.
You should.
Should I see it? Should I see it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's the best. It's the best I've ever seen of like action fighting in a movie ever. It's like top of the ever.
Okay.
It actually developed its own genre. They call it gun fu.
Okay.
So it's a mixture of gunplay and kung fu because everything is so. Did you see Desperado?
I think so.
You remember how he was kind of.
So, yeah.
Flailing around? Yeah.
So I've seen like the older shit, but this new stuff, like I've never seen.
But with John Wick, it's more believable because he actually went to Terran Tactical. He actually went to these jiu-jitsu trainers. He actually learned all this shit so that it wouldn't look. I mean, it's still unbelievable, but yeah, that's the ultimate revenge movie. Yeah, if there's a revenge story, I'll watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, they fucking killed his dog, stole his car, and killed his wife. So then,
no, his wife had just died.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Cancer.
So yeah, they
like
killed
on
his
her
dog.
deathbed, Jason. On her deathbed, this is not going to ruin the movie by any means, but On her deathbed, she ordered him a puppy to kind of keep him company because she was dying.
Uh-huh.
He didn't have it, like 2 days. These Russian dudes come in his house to steal his car, and they smash the fucking puppy with a baseball bat.
Yeah, you don't fuck with a man's dog.
No.
Fuck
It
no.
just gets fucking brutal from there on out.
Kill Bill, that's a great one too.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a great Pulp Fiction.
Classic.
Anything Quentin Tarantino touches is excellent, though.
What'd you think of his last one, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I fucking loved it.
I didn't see
It's
that.
so good.
Yeah.
It's fucking good.
Fuck, I got a lot of movies to watch.
Yeah. What's so great about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is that it's not action-packed.
No. It's the characters.
Tarantino's movies don't have to be, dude. It's the conversations that people have with one another in his films. Dude, they just lock me in, dude. I'm there for every word.
Yep.
You know, that guy's amazing. Yeah, Django Unchained, The Hateful Eight, they're all.
Yeah.
Well,
Hateful Eight, I think.
Four Rooms was a little different. Most people haven't even heard of that one.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure is a revenge movie.
What did he die of?
Pee-wee?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know didn't he get caught jacking off in a fucking...
That's a long time ago, dude. Who hadn't jacked
That's
off?
the last thing I heard of picking Pee-wee Herman, bro.
Who hadn't jacked off in the theater? That dude just got caught. And if I'm not mistaken, it was a porn theater too, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, he was in a porn theater. It's like, what else are you gonna do in there?
Yeah. I mean, I've been to those in California. It's literally that's why everybody's sitting 8 seats apart, so they don't get any on each other. Everybody in there is jacking off.
Allegedly.
You have to bring in a trash bag to sit down on.
Now, I'll never forget the first time I remember us turning the lights on at the strip club, and I was like, "Motherfucker, dude! I can't believe people sit here. I can't believe girls get naked in. This is the nastiest place I've ever seen in my life, dude.
Disgusting.
Oh, it's disgusting. Well, I used to wonder they all keep like these oversized bandanas, and they tuck them in the side of their outfit, and that's what it's there for. They lay that out on the chair before they will sit down.
That's how you know you're at a good strip club is the bitches got bandanas on their hip.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're in the right place, baby.
I didn't know that. That's a thing.
There's no such thing as yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
I've experienced one in Tijuana that was horrible.
Oh,
it was like at the end of the strip. So it's like, you know, it's and you can tell the girls start at the first bar, and as they get older and fatter, they work their way down. By the time they get to that bar, dude, they got like 3 teeth, a mustache. It's rough.
Yeah, it's rough out there, buddy.
Yeah. My favorite part about Tijuana, though, dude, was we were sitting at the bar, and I told my boy Sammy. Sammy was Mexican. He was my roommate in the military. I was like, dude, I'll be right back. I go piss. And he's like, well, where are you going? I was like, the bathroom. He was like, you can piss right here. I was like, what? And he leaned back and pointed, and I looked down. It was like a, 24-inch PVC pipe cut in half. And it's mounted underneath the bar, like right in front of your knees, with a slightly downhill slope. And then at the end, it goes into a closed small pipe and dumps out on the sidewalk.
Oh, so you can just piss while you're sitting at the bar?
While you're sitting there, you just take it out and piss. You never even have to get up.
Shit, bro. I've been to Tijuana. What year was that? Because
dude, this was 89, 90.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not. Whoa. Did you go?
I went in 95.
Yeah, but did you go to Tijuana or did you go to old Tijuana?
Tijuana, bro. I've been all over Mexico.
You know, because there's tourist Tijuana.
Yeah. No.
And there's old Tijuana.
Right.
Where you actually get shanked. And,
Yeah.
I never saw the tourist part.
No.
Yeah. We were there straight up party.
Good times.
Yeah. But that's back when you could.
Yeah.
Dangerous back. The only people you feared then were the police. They hit you up just to empty your bank account.
Empty your bank account, yeah.
Yeah, that was 89. It was were they still driving all different directions in the street when you went?
Oh God, yeah. You weren't even
literally. There's no traffic lanes.
Nothing.
It's a 2-lane road, and they're 5 cars wide. The 2 on the outside have got their tires up on the sidewalk, and people in the same lane are going the opposite directions. It's the craziest thing, man.
Crazy as shit, man. Crazy as shit.
What's up, Jared?
Yes, in case you don't highlight that comment, I talked to Jared today, and he's offered for Weedy, the guy that owns USA Made Blade, to come on the channel, and I'd really love to see him do that, not because I want to see Jared win. That's not what this is about. It's just because, there's nothing wrong with taking responsibility for your product. It's not even his product.
Right.
It should be somebody from Hinderer handling it, which would probably be even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle, I did find a zebra until. Did they have those donkeys painted like zebras when you went down there? What is up with that?
Crazy times, bro.
Yeah.
Crazy times.
I went once.
We'll talk about it offline sometime, Jason.
Oh, yeah. Now we might get canceled. We talk about that shit now.
Right.
I've only been once, and it was when I was a kid, so
yeah.
I didn't get to party or do anything.
Yeah. It is amazing how you can take that short a ride, man. Just literally a 15-minute drive.
It's a different world, man.
It's like you're on an entirely different planet in a different time. If there weren't cars on the street, you wouldn't know it wasn't the 1800s. It's just crazy, man. How people on one side of the wall live one way, and on the other side of the wall it's completely different. It's mind blowing.
It is. You're right.
I was actually, and so when I was a kid, I went with my family, and I wanted a switchblade so bad because my dad said that you could get a switchblade there, and we found one. He bought it for me. The guy tried to obviously talk him tried to upsell him to like some crazy number.
Right.
But my dad got him back down to like a reasonable price.
Like $8.
Yeah. Yeah. He bought it for me, and I fucking love that thing. And so we were going back across the border, and all of a sudden my dad was like, dude, you have to hide that. We were in the line going back through the border.
Yeah.
We looked back, and he was like, Kev, you got to hide that thing. I freaked the fuck out. I was looking around like, what do I do? He's like, just hide it. We're almost there. So I looked down, there was like this armrest, and there was like a little rip in it, and I just stuffed it in there. And I was a little kid, dude. I thought I was going to go to prison. and we drove through. They didn't even look in the car, obviously.
Dude, he's a childhood arms smuggler.
And it was fine, but that was fucking terrifying.
Oh my god, dude. That's funny, bro. That's fucking funny.
And then actually I went again as an adult, and I couldn't find a switchblade anywhere. I don't know if I was just like not looking in the right place.
I'd follow Xanax for $8.
Yeah.
All day. I don't take Xanax, but I know they're dirt cheap down there.
Yeah,
all pharmaceuticals, yeah, man.
It's weird, like stuff. Everything is just in the corner convenience store.
Yeah,
like you can get a Mountain Dew, a bag of Doritos, some Xanax, and some Lortabs right there at the same cash register.
Yeah,
they don't even look at you funny. Yeah. Does make you wonder, though, dude. You ever hear about the opioid crisis in Mexico? Because I don't. I've never heard anything about it.
Yeah. He doesn't have a loud enough voice to talk with you. That's funny.
Well, he'd comment on the fact that Jared's video got 9 million views and his would get 500. So that's why I think it was good of Jared to be like, come on my channel and say whatever, say your piece.
Oh, I thought he meant literally like volume wise.
No. Weedy can get loud.
Okay.
Yeah. Big Devious, I don't know, man. I don't know that I would say that. And the reason why is like I said, that guy took a hit to his reputation and lost some money when he called out Hoback, because he is the one that exposed Hoback. He just took it personally because it's probably his top seller. And he's concerned that people aren't. I get that 100%. You could tell, though, that he was on the verge of wanted to shit talk, but he held back. I'm assuming by B. Devious's comment, that's what he means, is that he's saying that USA Made Blade is. I'm assuming you meant that negatively.
It'd be an interesting stream for sure. I hope he does it.
Yeah. Because he knows, dude. Everybody that sells those knives, makes those knives. The funniest shit I saw at Blade Show last year was Silver Steel Steve was standing in a corner having a conversation about heat treat and geometry with a couple of the Rick Hinderer's employees, young employees. And when Rick walked up on it, dude, he didn't say anything, but you could tell he was not happy. Yeah,
that's funny. Don't you tell my employees about HRC?
Yeah. Don't you dare. Don't teach them how to do that shit right. You're going to cost me 20 extra belts a year.
That's funny.
Now, I'd like to say, Brian, like Brian's proof it can be done, and I'm sure he spends more on belts than he would if he was running them soft. But, transparent knives, reblade's not cheap. And he has to do a lot of. You know what I mean? You can't even go on a website and order it. You have to hope you win a spot to be able to purchase it. So that tells you that people will pay for it.
Yep.
And with Brian's stuff, I mean, you're never even quite sure what the blade's going to look like. Down there, everyone who does is different.
How much do belts really cost? Anyways, not that much.
What, his reblades?
No, like the belts for the belt sander.
Well, it's not, but I mean, you have to at some point figure in some wear and tear, because it does bind the motor down. I don't know how you would go about figuring that cost, but
I don't see how it could be enough to really make much of a huge difference. But
right. Well, that's the one thing I really, why his company is called Transparent Knives. You go on his website, and he's got it broke down exactly what he spends on those blades, and you can see exactly what he's making. And if you don't like that and you're not comfortable with it, you ain't got to buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, completely transparent. He tells you if he's doing something that requires skilled labor, it's $50 an hour. If he's cutting out a scale and he considers that non-skilled labor, it's $20 an hour. It's all broke down on his website. Can you imagine asking any of these other companies to do that?
Oh, fuck no.
To expose exactly what they're charging and why?
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah, never going to happen.
Nope.
Like I told Jerry, though, man, the only reason why I care anything at all about the subject is because I think it's a better looking knife than Chris Reeve makes. I think it's a better looking knife than the Rosie. I think it's a better looking knife than insert any high-end knife maker you want. For a production knife, I don't think anything looks better than the XM18. That's just my opinion. And I think it's a 95, well, minus the lock bar issue. But it's a 95% perfect knife, and it would be so easy to make it the best knife money can buy. I just can't understand why somebody wouldn't.
It's that last little bit.
Right. It'd be like building a 1,000 horsepower street race car and being too cheap to put good fuel in it.
So at that point, it's got to be something more than it's got to just be stubbornness. I mean, because all roads point to, the right way, but you still insist on taking the wrong fucking way. It's just too stubborn at that point.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I said. At this point, I don't even think it's. I said at this point, I don't think he cares, and maybe I was wrong for saying that because actually, I think you're right. At this point, he's not going to change because he couldn't live with himself for somebody to come out and say Brian Kim was right, Jerry Meade was right.
Yeah,
just ain't going to do it.
No, he's been doing it forever, dude. He's an old timer. He knows. He knows.
And should he? That's another question. Should he even do that? Because his fan base has backed him this entire time, wholeheartedly backed him. Would it be turning his back on those people if he changed it? I don't know.
But that's the wrong way to look at it. People, we evolve, man. So you know what? He should embrace that. Be like, hey, listen, I was doing things this way. However, I've evolved. I've listened to the community.
And in all fairness, he was doing things to industry standard. That's not necessarily a negative. It's just that industry standard doesn't fetch 550.
Right.
At 550, you expect greatness.
Yeah.
Or at least I would.
Yep. McNeese Mac 2, 3.5 rendition.
Yeah. That's actually what I was thinking of earlier. When you held that shaman up with that skinnier handle or that, the reshaped scales.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the McNeese also. Just that leaf-shaped blade. But definitely going to have to do that because I've just got a S30V black G10 shaman. I don't think and in that geometry, I don't think I need anything else.
No. Actually, I got my AWT was having a blemish sale on some of their scales, and they happened to have shaman ones. I think I got them for like $40.
Yeah, what's up with that? Could you find the blemish?
It was just the color was off. It was just a color thing.
Like in one spot or the entire scale?
The entire thing looks a little more pink than it should.
Oh, okay. I got nothing against pink knives, brother.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. It's a little more pink than red.
I got you. So that's what I was wondering. I was worried about buying some of the blems and getting it and there being a big spot in it, that stuck out like a sore thumb.
At least with this pair, I can't speak for all of them, obviously, but
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up. We're going
to the Blade Show.
Kevin? What?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to Blade Show. I already bought my plane ticket.
Oh, good deal.
Speaking of that, real quick, because I don't know how many people we got in here. Kevin and I are looking for a place to stay. If someone's got the hookup, put us on. God damn it!
You couldn't get any of your channel sponsors to get you a plane ticket in a hotel, Kevin?
I'm not quite at that level.
Oh, I assumed you were.
Oh yeah, I don't want to put them in awkward situations.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right, dude, I text Jason that day, dude. I was like, man, your boy hit it, son. God, it was such a good acting job.
Yeah, I laughed pretty much that entire day reading comments and shit. That was fucking great.
I was a little bit petty when I got that notice from Instagram that my conversation with Metal Complex had reached 98% more people than my posts normally do. So I screenshot it and I said, thanks for the push, Metal Complex, and added him. I probably shouldn't have did that because I felt like I was I felt like I was more than polite with the guy.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't let him rattle me.
All right, that's it. Let's end it.
That's it. Just like that. You just shut it off, huh?
Yep.
I got you.
Hard out, baby. Hard out.
Yeah, that was fun, man. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. Sorry I talked too much, but that's me.
No, we know who you are, and we still invited you here. So
I should be grateful for the exposure.
Yeah, there you go. You're welcome, motherfucker.
That's right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. All right.
All y'all for
Thanks for hanging out, everyone in the chat. We'll see you next time.